Alrighty. So I was recently having a chat with a new acquaintance, and because I was talking about how I think that just like a lot of things in life, that um, the stories in the Bible and the way they're presented are um, multi-dimensional. And while you can agree or disagree, but I think that while a lot of these things I believe are, literal things that happen, I do believe in miracles, and things that just don't make sense because I have seen God make things happen. Um, I think there is also a lot of symbolism that we need to take into consideration, and it's kind of woven through all of these stories. For instance, we have been talking about the Exodus from Egypt. You can also see Egypt as a state of captivity, and that could be mental or emotional captivity. Um, these stories represent things that real people went through, and also the same kind of situations that we go through in our daily lives. I think that's important because I think a lot about how, I have difficulty communicating with people. And it's not because I don't enjoy people, not because I am shy or afraid to communicate. It's just that I happen to really enjoy, I like puzzles, I like riddles, I like symbolism, I love literature, and that's kind of the way my brain works. And for me, um, as a very visual person, symbolism is a way to make things in my head more concise and maybe a more efficient way of communication. But if that symbolism or the intent isn't apparent to you, then it's entirely inefficient. It's the exact opposite, and it's not good communication. Which is why I love these stories also, because there are these different layers, and you can look at it a literal way and it still makes sense, or you can see it symbolically and it makes a lot of sense in a lot of different ways. But you don't have to miss the meaning necessarily. And I feel like that's what happens, in all kinds of relationships and dealing with friends, because I guess, I don't make sense to a lot of people, and I never have. And a lot of the time, it's, you know, I just kind of let people assume I'm stupid, because honestly, when I was really little, I think that my parents and teachers did think I was stupid, and so I thought I was stupid, because that was the feedback that I got from other people, and because it was just assumed that I was stupid because I had difficulty communicating the way that other people did. Um, I didn't have a lot of confidence, and that probably had something to do with why I just didn't speak. I probably just gave up at some point. Um, but understanding that about myself makes me think about, when we communicate with other people, it's so easy for us to get caught up in the behavior of another person that we don't agree with, when I don't think it's fair to say to any person that you are just not a good person. It's like sometimes we don't like the way people treat us, and they don't like the way that we treat them, and we have a failure to communicate our ideas and beliefs and things like that. And so sometimes there's disconnect and disagreement, and it's just, people are hard. Communication is hard, and it's hard for me sometimes to go back and backtrack and walk through things that I should have made clear and maybe extended, because I just, I have a lot of patience for some things, but for a lot of extra fluffed out communication, I do not. That's why, I like poetry, or I like symbolism. I like things that just, I just kicked that. People need different things from each other. So it just made me think, it's not people that are hard. It's that it takes a lot of effort and a lot of attention to, put the effort in to really understand where another person is coming from. And it's absolutely essential in all kinds of relationships, especially things at work or in like live-in situations and families. And, it's just so hard to understand where another person is coming from when you didn't grow up in the same environment, in the same set of conditions. And it makes me think how, I like to bring it back to how it's hard for me to understand people that don't have this faith that was introduced to me as a child. And of course, when you're a kid, you just believe everything. Like, it must be the truth, And I guess I just had that personality to question everything, because I was really confused about a lot of things, because, we had a lot of different beliefs running around my family. And so I just wanted to know what was right. Like, what is the right thing to do? So I can totally understand how it's difficult for somebody who didn't have this influence, and for me to try to speak to somebody who has no idea what I'm talking about. It's so hard to explain, even to my own kid. The only way that I could say, I was like, the only way that I know for sure is that I asked. And I asked, with my whole heart, because I really wanted to know. But I did also have this already ready-made belief that there was a God up there. Whether I was understanding him right, was the question. So I was reading in Job. I was looking for something to help me explain this, because I don't know where another person is coming from. And I think people are just wonderful. I think that we do all learn and develop, kind of the same way. We're a product of our environment. And that doesn't make us good or bad. We just have different habits, and different points of view. But in understanding, I think it's just as easy to understand, be like, wow, the Bible is magnificent. It describes what God is really well, the same way as, a walk in nature describes what God is really well. And that's, a kind of symbolism that is like so profound to me, how everything works together. And there's all these like biosystems and all of these animals and creatures and bugs living together. And it's just so far beyond me. It is so beautiful and so intricate. But that's how I feel about, the Word of God also. So the part I was looking at is the end of Job chapter 26, where it says that he divided the sea with his power, and by his understanding he smiteth through the proud. By his spirit he hath garnished the heavens. His hand hath formed the crooked serpent. Lo, these are parts of his ways, but how little a portion is heard of him. But the thunder of his power, who can understand? And that's really what it's like. It's like, it's so beautiful, and God encompasses the things that are, visibly, emotionally, spiritually beautiful, and the things that we perceive as not so beautiful, the things that, have the potential to hurt us, the things that can be dangerous, but they're all part of this magnificent creation. And I think that's really how we need to see other people, every other person, no matter their mental problems or their beliefs, their, political agenda. We have to see like the profound creatures that every person is, and understand that everyone has a point of view and, a set of principles and a set of beliefs, and that also we are all so permeable that if we find a better way to communicate, to influence and accept each other, communicate with each other with that acceptance, that maybe we don't need to have so much conflict. And that's just how I feel today. I don't want like a big long thing, but I just, no matter what we go through, no matter how you're at odds with another person, for me, it's not, people can be frustrating, situations can be frustrating, But you know, I don't ever not love the person that I'm dealing with. You do have to set boundaries sometimes. Sometimes you have to say, we're not at the same place. I can't make you understand. I've got work to do, you know, and people just can't be in your bubble anymore. You know, but we've got to make those dismissals with love, you know, and, you know, I like to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and like try if it's a situation where we need to, you know, try to communicate well. But I just think every person is so wonderful. Like, I'm not gonna lose hope in people. I don't care. You know, I know that I have to separate myself from them sometimes, but I will always love and pray for that person. And I think, you know, that would be a benefit to all of us if we all kind of did that. Anyway, I love you so much. Please, 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 this is so important to me. I really love doing this, to take a couple minutes out and just share, and I hope that it will help someone else. So if you would be so kind to please like watch these videos all the way through if you're able. I am so happy to receive feedback because obviously I think different than other people, and if it's not super entertaining or it's too boring or you want to see something else, please let me know. I'd be happy to work on it. But I could use your support if you please share these, because I just, you know, I just want a better, more cohesive world for all of us. Thank you.